So you can see two pictures. Can you guess what the picture tell about?
So the first picture tells about drought condition. The second one is about flood.
Sand. Its hands. It is salt of the surface of the soil. Accumulation of salt. That means soil salinity. And the second picture tells that the intrusion of saline water into the field, so salinity occurs. That's why today's lesson is uh, crop production technology in the saline soil zone. Lesson 4, chapter 4, lesson 3 to 4, but we'll try to complete 3 to 5. At
Lesson two
first,
এর raking, changing line direction and use of organic fertilizers এই তিনটার উপর ডিসকাশন করা হয়নি।
আচ্ছা ওইটা পরে দেখি, ওইটা বাকি ছিল তাই না? ওকে। Lesson crop production technologies in the saline soil zones. Lesson 3. At first, what is salinity? The presence of salt in the soil and water is called salinity. Which salt? Salt of sodium, calcium, and magnesium with chloride and sulfate. That means the concentration of chloride and sulfate salt of sodium, calcium, and magnesium are increased due to saline water flooded by seawater. Affected areas of our country is southern region, that means coastal region. Uh, the salinity of the soil has become a great problem in the southern agroecological zones of Bangladesh. Why salinity is a problem? Why problem? Because
Walaikum, sir.
it hampers uptake of nutrient elements from the soil. If the accumulation of salt presence in the soil, it dissolves into water, and the soil water, the concentration of soil water becomes higher, so that nutrient element uptake by the plant cannot be easy, and it affects water absorption process from soil as well. Water absorption is also hampered. This causes reduction of normal growth and development of the crop. This is the consequence of third one is consequence of first two. That means if the nutrient uptake and water absorption is hampered, so normal growth and development of the crop will be reduced. Variation of the salinity. Season to season in our country, concentration of salt varies. Uh, During the rainy season, due to heavy rainfall, there is a less concentration of soil of salt, and during dry season, salinity increased because of evaporation of uh, water. Now, crop management technologies in the management and technologies under salinity production condition. How can we cultivate crops under soil salinity? At first, technology is cultivating salt tolerant varieties, same as drought tolerant varieties. There are some varieties of some crops. All crops that can tolerate salinity can be divided into three categories. The first one is most salinity tolerant crops that can tolerate higher concentration of salt. Higher concentration, those crops are most salinity tolerant crops such as coconut, betel nuts, sugar beet, cotton, turnip, sesbania, spinach, etc. Then medium salt tolerant crops that can tolerate salinity or salt concentration at a medium level. The salinity can measured in specific units. The crops are hot plum, sweet potato, chili, field bean, smoke bean, maize, tomato, guava, etc. And less salt tolerant crops that can tolerate salinity when the salinity is in less amount in the soil. The wheat, orange, pear, etc. are less salt tolerant crops. Now in the rice varieties, HYV, that means high yielding rice varieties in the almond season, that is BR 22, 23, Brithan 40, Brithan 41, Brithan 46, Brithan 53, Brithan 52 are can be cultivated in the almond season in those areas of coastal region, or that means saline soil, in the saline soil. Those are the high yielding varieties. Now local varieties of almond rice, Rajashal, Kajolshal, Bazail, etc. Rice varieties for Boro season are Bridhan 47 and Bridhan 55. Bridhan is also high yielding varieties. The next management techniques is arranging irrigation and drainage. We know that irrigation is to supply water to the crop field, and drainage is to removal of excess water from the crop field. If we supply water to the crop field, that means irrigate the water can dissolve the salt, and then if we drain out the water from that field, the water wash away the excess salt, so salinity becomes lower. This is a management techniques. Number 3, reducing evaporation of water. We have already known that during the winter season or dry season, salinity is increased because the evaporation of water. And if we uh, reduce or protect the evaporation of water, the salinity will not be increased. There are several ways to reduce evaporation. First is breaking soil pore by pulverizing soil surface. We can control the evaporation by breaking soil pore, as it is shown in the previous lesson in for cultivating crops in the drought areas. So if we break the soil pore, water from the soil cannot be evaporated easily. Loosening of soil by rake or hand hoe. This is a equipment by which soil surface can be loose. If we lose the soil, also soil pores are closed or broken. The seeds of winter crops may be sown plowing the soil when it is still wet after harvest of almond rice. Almond rice is harvested in the month of December, and there is no rain condition in our country, but there is a sufficient moisture in that field. But if we keep the land unplowing after harvesting of almond rice, the sunlight will fall on the surface of the field, and the soil will dry out soon. So we should not keep the land fallow and plow the land as soon as possible. Then another way, mulching. Mulching can be done by the use of polythene sheet or leaves or water hyacinth, so that water cannot be evaporated easily. Number 4, preparing land using proper method. There are some techniques to prepare land so that salinity can be minimized. After harvest of almond rice, land should be plowed as soon as possible. Land should be well leveled at the time of final plowing. Normally, a land is plowed 3 to 4 times. First plowing, second plowing, third plowing, and if there is fourth plowing, the fourth plowing is final plowing. After the final plowing, the land should be leveled by use of a ladder so that the soil become compacted and evaporation will be checked. Salt may accumulate in the lower pockets of the undulated soil surface. If the soil or land is not leveled, undulated, so in that case, at the lower surface of the soil, the salt is accumulated. If it rains, the salt wash away and accumulate in the lower pocket. So the concentration of salt is higher at the lower surface. Changing seed sowing method. There are some methods such as broadcasting method, line sowing method, etc. So we should avoid broadcasting method of seed sowing. It will promote the evaporation of water and increases salinity. Sowing seeds at the bottom of the slightly deep furrow made at a specific distance. I will show it in the next. Show it some figures in the next slide. Shallow trench furrow may be prepared at a distance of 1 meter, which should be irrigated for several days. It will increase the leaching of surface salt in the trench furrow. Then seed should be sown on the top of the ridge after lightly spreading, which will encourage good germination of the seed. Now you can see that in some figures, seeds are sown by creating some pockets or pit. Some crops, seeds of some crops can be planted or sown in the pit, and some crops can be planted in the ridge or raised areas. Again, in the picture below the page, we can see that crops are seedlings are planted in the in between furrows, in the ridged or raised area in between furrows. If the land is irrigated and if there is any rainfall, so the salt is washed away from the raised area and accumulate in the lower surface. So in the raised area, the salt concentration becomes lower, and the plant can survive in the raised area. I think it is clear. Now lesson 4. If you have any question, I will let you time after the presentation.
Sir.
Crop production technologies in the flood-prone areas. We can see in the figure that rice crop is flooded by water and also damaged, and a farmer is harvesting the crop from the water or inundated land. So how can we produce crops in the flood prone areas or where the flooding is a normal phenomenon? Categories of land. At first, we can categorize the land on the basis of water levels during flooding. At first, medium high land. Lands can be classified or categorized in several ways. On the basis of the height up to which the flood water reaches. Medium highland, the level of water during flood reach up to the height of 0.9 meter, that means 90 centimeter. Medium lowland, the level of water during flood
0.9 centimeter na ki meter, sir?
0.9 meter, that means 90 centimeter.
Oh.
Right? Then
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
The level of water during flood reaches up to height of 1.8 meter. That means above 0.9 meter and up to from 0.9 meter to 1.8 meter. This is medium lowland. And lowland above 1.8 meter and below 3 meter. This is lowland. Water can reach. And water reach above 3 meter. That is called very lowland. That means Haur areas, lands of Haur areas. Production technologies for flood-prone areas of the country. How can we produce crop in the areas where flood water enter at a regular interval or flooding is a normal phenomenon? Two types of management practice are adopted. These are flood control based management practice and agronomic management practices. First one is flood control based management practice. This cannot be done by the farmers themselves. This initiative is taken by the government. Flood control. How can we control flood? This initiative is taken by the in our country by the Water Development Board. They establish embankments so that flood water cannot be entered into a specific region. Such as there is a we called Beribad around the Dhaka city, so that the water from outside of the city cannot enter into the Dhaka city. This is a embankments. We can see two figures. At the left figure, we can see that embankments. It is a high, made very high, and at the right figure, we can see that there is a gate through which water is controlled. Water movement is controlled. This is called sluice gate. Embankments are constructed on the two banks of the river or canals or flood-prone areas, so that flood water of the river cannot overflow into the nearby field or land. Water is controlled by sluice gate in the rivers or canals so that flood water cannot enter the crop fields. Then agronomic management practice. This can be done by the farmers themselves, and this is invented by agricultural scientists. There are some practices that can be adopted, such as early varieties. I will discuss it every items. Azet or and tall seedling, submergence tolerant varieties, deep water almond, plotting seedbed, dapok seedbed, late varieties. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These 7 agronomic management practice can be adopted. At first, early varieties. Sudden hill water flash flood happens at the time of Boro rice harvest. That means in the month of May. In the northeastern region of the country. In the northeastern region, there are some hills in our country, and there is a sudden hill water flash flood, and the water from the hills eventually goes into the lower areas where Boro rice is grown or cultivated. In the month of May, when the rice become matured and farmers are ready to harvest their crops. At this time, if flood happens, the Boro rice is totally damaged. So we can cultivate Boro rice varieties that are early varieties, such as Bridhan 28 and Bridhan 36, which ripen earlier. That means in the month of May. The hill flood happens in the month of May, but this rice can be harvested 1 month earlier. That means in the month of May. In this way, flood can be avoided. Aged and tall seedling, normally rice seedling is transplanted at the age of 30 to 45 days, but we can use seedling uh, at the age of about 60 days and tall seedlings, so that normal flood water cannot damage or inundate the crops. Seedling of the age of about 60 days may be transplanted in the month of January, draining out excess water from the field. Submergence tolerant varieties. There are some varieties of rice invented by Bangladesh Rice Research Institute that can tolerate submergence. That means if the rice plant is totally under water, this can survive for a specific period, such as submergence tolerant Bridhan 51 and Bridhan 52 may be cultivated in the almond season. These varieties have capacity to tolerate 10 to 15 days submergence underwater. Deep water almond. You can see in the figure that a man is uh, about to dip into the water, so the mm, water depth is very high. In these areas, that means in the lowland, we can cultivate this type of almond varieties that their their top of the plant remains above the water level. The local varieties of deep water almond are also cultivated in the northeastern How region. In the How region, when the floodwater uh, raised, we can uh, cultivate these varieties of crops. And the local deep water almond rice, namely the varieties named Bazail, Fulpuri, Horinshile, are varieties grow rapidly longer with rise of water level. It can grow up to 25 centimeter per day and can survive at the height of even 4-meter water depth. Then floating seedbed. What is floating seedbed? Seedbed is a place where seedlings are raised or grown from sowing seed. But if the field where seedbeds is prepared, the field is goes under water, we cannot, or farmer cannot uh, prepare seedbed. In that case, they prepare raised seedbed, floating seedbed. It floats on the water like a boat. Floating seedbeds in the homestead and other high land spaces may be utilized for raising seed. At first, water hyacinth or banana plant is uh, used to uh, make a seedbed, and above it mud is placed, and a temporary seedbed is prepared, and this is floating seedbed, and seeds are sown on the seedbed, and uh, it is this seedbed is fixed with bamboo post so that it cannot be uh, displaced from this specific place. Another seedbed is Tapok seedbed. When there is no place or there is no scope of preparing uh, floating seedbed, the yard of the farmer or the roof of a house can be used as a seedbed. Just uh, a polythene sheet is used, and at the fourth side of the polythene sheet is raised, and water is kept in the areas, and uh, seeds are sown. This is called tapok seedbed. Now late varieties, early varieties ripens before the onset of flood, but late varieties are cultivated after the decision of flood water. Understand? The late varieties of almond rice such as Niger Shell, BR22 and BR23 should be cultivated in the flood prone with the flood prolonged. So late varieties, okay, now lesson 5. This lesson is not properly prepared because I have a very uh, minimum time in my hand. I cannot make it as it is slides are made in the previous 2 lessons. Livestock rearing, not tearing, it is a mistake. Livestock rearing under unfavorable environment. The effects of unfavorable environment on livestock animals are: unfavorable environment creates food deficiency of livestock animal. Unfavorable environment then means flood, drought, tornadoes, salinity, etc. Scarcity of grasses become a problem during flood and drought. If the land is flooded or there is no rain, grass cannot grow. So scarcity of grass, and the grass is the main food of uh, livestock, that means cattle. Grasses and crops cannot grow in saline soil. Growth and meal production of animal is reduced. If there is no food or scarcity of food, so the consequence is growth is retarded and milk production is also reduced. The animal faces malnutrition. Many animal dies due to diseases. What to do during flood? Arrangement should be made in higher lands for the shelter of animal during flood. We can see in the TV news that in our country during this month before the Eid ul Adha, farmers are going to the highlands with their cattle. The permanent animal shed must be prepared in safe, high raised land where flood is a yearly event. So, if flood is a yearly event in specific areas, so a permanent animal shed should be prepared. Broiler and duck farms should be established in the flood-prone areas instead of layer farms. Layer hens are used for laying eggs. We can get eggs from the layer, but we can get only meat from the broiler. Broiler can be marketed even only after 1 month. So it can be reared within a short time. Before, or we can rear broiler before or after flood. And duck is habituated in the water, living in water. So water is not a problem for duck. Water hyacinth, edible tree leaves, rice straw, banana leaves may be arranged for cattle fodder during floods or flood prone areas. Water hyacinth is a hydrophyte plant. It can grow in water. So the leaves of water hyacinth can be fed to the animal. Edible tree leaves, that means banana leaves or jackfruit leaves, etc., can be given to the cattle if there is scarcity of fodder. That means cattle food is called fodder. Some wheat and maize grains should be purchased and stored in advance. Maize and wheat grains, this is a concentrated food given to the cattle. It can be purchased and stored in advance if there is a possibility of flood. The poultry do not get down to the water. Their feed should be ready-made supply. Goats and sheep may be reared in goats and banana tree plot for few days during this flood time. Much care should be taken about the animal disease and sanitation management. I have a few times, that means 5 minutes left. Special care should be taken so that mud cannot accumulate in the animal shed. This will increase the possibility of disease. Activities to be done during drought. Natural grass production is reduced during flood due to damage by the water. Animal during drought, it should be drought, not flood. Animal should be fed with leaves of different trees as available during this time. That means some tree leaves, that means banana leaves or jackfruit leaves, etc. Animal should not be allowed to stay directly in the fully open spaces during hot binding those posts. Animal should be kept under tree during the hot spells, so it can uh, rest in the shady place. Sufficient water should be supplied for animals during unfavorable time. That means if there is a drought, there is a thirst for water, so sufficient water should be supplied. Concentrated feed like oil cake, buns, rice, water should be given to the animal along with other available feeds. Injection should be given as per prescription of veterinary doctors if there is any disease, outbreak of disease. Cattle fodder like Napier, Para, German, these are the grass, may be cultivated as a fodder in drought, flood, and saline water affected areas. Besides, preserved green grass, sugarcane byproducts, banana tree leaves are very suitable for giving as seed during unfavorable drought condition. I think this is all. If you have any question, then you can ask me.
No, sir.
Show that time left for 15 minutes. I expect some question. No question.